Alright. So I should probably try to explain this situation a little bit better. Currently, the server network has become excessively large to the point where I'm having to move a lot of money around all the time and able to keep it online right now. And we're just talking on small scale. The annual operational costs are at about $9,050. So basically we owe $750 a month just to keep our core resources online. In order to keep the core resources online enables us to be able to progress the network. It enables us to write data. It enables us to store data. It enables us to work on current projects, so on and so forth, so that essentially we can keep working and making more money. Currently, right now, there's 4 nodes online. There's Node 1, Node 2, Node 3, and Node 4. Node 1 and Node 2 are strictly for shared resources only. When I mean shared resources, I mean shared and reseller hosting products specifically designed for the user that needs between 1 and 50 websites, 50 to 100. The thing is if you're on Node 1 and Node 2, you have websites that don't get that much traffic because if you had it's shared resources, so you only get a percentage of the available resources on the server to be able to use your systems or your software or whatever, so on and so forth. So even if you had 100 websites on there, mostly they're probably just indexed sites that get little traffic or just text-based and don't have a lot of CPU-intensive resources. Since we've been able to upgrade our servers, we're able to raise the percentage and what they call burstable, I guess, cores or whatnot. We've been able to raise that substantially, so you really don't have to worry about, when I'm talking massive traffic, I'm talking about like 100,000 concurrent connections or some kind of crazy MySQL forum or something like that. That's what you would have to worry about on the Node 3 and Node 4. Now, Node 1 and Node 2 are both 16 cores, so they have 24 gigs of RAM each, Node 1 and Node 2 do, and they have 3 terabytes of enterprise solid-state drive, which is hooked up to a fiber optic storage system through network access storage, so there's really no way that whenever you run a backup, it gets stored on the network access storage, so there really is no way that you're going to run out of space. It's fucking impossible. Node 3 and Node 4 are specifically designed for Linux and Windows virtualization, and essentially Node 3 is Solus VM OpenVZ stacking, which basically means that it's a Linux virtual private server cluster. It's the node head, which means there will be many nodes that follow, and those nodes that follow will do essentially the same process. But they have 16 cores worth of virtualized storage, and 16 cores, virtualized cores, and they have 24 gigs of RAM. They have 3 terabytes of enterprise solid-state drives, and yet again, they're hooked up to a large network access storage bank, which you don't have to worry about your data. Node 4 is Solus VM Zen stacking, which essentially means that it's Windows virtual servers instead of Linux virtual servers. So it's still running, all of this is running on CentOS 6.5 64-bit, but you're getting Linux stacking and you're getting Windows stacking at the same time, which is awesome because it's running Linux is running Windows better than Windows runs Windows, and sorry Bill Gates, but the world's moved on. Anyway, it's 16 cores, 24 gigs of RAM, and 3 terabytes of enterprise solid-state drives are what we are looking at for our platform now. We're also working on some other things right now. Obviously, storingtheinternet.com is a huge project because of the client base behind it, and essentially, I've mapped 50 nodes so far in the network topology, I guess you could say. And that's strictly just for web storage and data, and being an internet service provider, providing domains, providing private IP, and also providing all of this is hooked up to a 10 gig super connection in Dallas, Texas. I mean, I've got pretty much unlimited bandwidth, and the bandwidth carriers pretty much pwn every other bandwidth carrier in the country. So I've got people in Bolivia, I've got people in South America. You know, my friend Sebastian Cortez is getting a ping of 80 to my servers, which is, you know, pretty far down in South America. So you can imagine how awesome the connection is here. It really allows people to be able to run a game server in the United States that they can connect to from South America and be able to easily play video games at a nominal ping. So when we're talking about the placement for all these people who've been contacting me for the really long time through the computer, I've essentially built a massive network for you guys to use that's centralized in a place where the IP space doesn't suck, and you're not going to have to go through a ridiculously large amount of, you know, callbacks to be able to get to the actual server itself. And it's running Cisco anomaly guard modules at the head, which are like $30,000 a rack. Some of those pieces of equipment can go up to like $200,000, but it's specifically designed to where there's no way in hell anybody's going to be able to denial of service this service. So you don't have to worry about distributed denial of service attacks or anything like that. We got about a minute and 30 seconds left before my camera runs out. I'm going to run through some other things that we're working on. Since everything hardware has pretty much already been built, we have paid a lot of people and a lot of partners, and I'm just going to go down the list here of the new service level agreement additions that we've been able to add to our system. And we've been testing that system with vulnerability research assessment testers all over the world. Basically, we have integrated the Cloudflare API. We've integrated Zamfoo, Nessus, Idera, R1Soft, whatever you want to call them, CP Hulk, Advanced DNS Zone Editor, RV2 Factor, Spam Scan, Spam Experts, Poster SQL databases, Attracta SEO tools, Fantastico, Softaculous, WHM Extra, Resource Monitor, MyCP Admin, IonCube and Zen Loaders, WHMCS Now, Coinbase, Google Wallet, and Facebook is all integrated into our new website. That's just a few of probably 1,000 SLA additions that make our service pretty much invulnerable to every other company. At the same time, we're going to be serving you guys PHP version 5.4.26, MySQL version 5.5.36, Lightspeed web server, Zend engine 2.4.0, IonCube PHP loader 4.4.1 with a PHP memory limit of 128 megs because we have so much RAM. libxml compiled 10.2.